I, 36-year-old female, have a son, 11-year-old male. In 6th grade we'll call Preston, which a teacher will call Susan, 50-plus-year-old female. Some important background is that Preston is pretty skittish and jumpy. He easily gets startled by noises or voices he does not expect, especially if they are loud. I have only seen Susan in person like twice, but she has a distinctly loud, almost thunderous voice. I have never heard her yell yet, though, but Preston says it always makes him jump a little, and apparently she's known for being ridiculously loud in general from other kids and parents. Anyway, I work from home, WFH, and I got a voicemail on my phone from Preston using a school phone saying he got detention because Susan yelled at some kids fooling around during work time. He was startled, and she noticed, so she made him leave the room, work in the hallway, and call me to tell him he has to serve detention next week. I did not believe that was the reason he got detention at all, because that sounds really dumb, and assumed he was just minimizing his role. He does tend to do that when explaining his side when in trouble, so I thought I'd get Susan's side at recess while I went to lunch. I called her, and I was completely caught off guard when what she said lined up with everything Preston said to a T. I wasn't sure what to say at first, but I ended up just laughing on the phone before any words could come out. Susan was irritated and asked what was so funny, and I just responded that I was so sure that Preston was lying to me, because that was such a ridiculous reason to give anyone detention, and that he is not serving detention just for being startled. She tells me that this is not a suggestion, and that I'm being obtuse. I stood firm and asked her if she'd think it appropriate if her boss yelled loudly at some fellow teachers. You were startled, and then he proceeded to dock her pay or some other form of punishment, following up with, I bet she didn't even do anything to the kids she was initially yelling at, after noticing Preston. She got quiet for a moment, and I thought maybe I convinced her, but then she doubled down and said that failing to serve detention would result in suspension or more, and I told her I'd gladly fight her and the school on this, if it came to that, before hanging up. I do not intend to punish Preston just for getting startled. We all do it, and it's nothing worth making any issue out of. If I'm being honest, the only reason I chose to post is because I vented to my friend about this later, and she actually did not side with me, saying that I was kind of being a weenie to laugh at Susan, and that teachers don't get paid enough to deal with the things I said, so I want to hear what unbiased people think. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Good parent. My son got into a fight in 6th grade elementary. He was defending another student from a well-documented bully that I had spoken to the school repeatedly about. When the school tried disciplinary action, I laughed. I offered that the school had 2 choices: keep my son in their school with 0 punishment, or I would be happy to not only withdraw him immediately and then talk to some friends in the press. I also offered to have a face-to-face with the bruised-up students' parents any time. When asked what I was going to do with my son as a parent, I told them I was taking him out for a steak and ice cream afterwards. Why? Because my ex-wife and I taught our children to defend others, especially against a bully. Never heard another word about it, and they started to call me even more often to chaperone, even when my children were not in the class going on an outing. Comment 2. I startle easily. If I got in trouble every time I had a reflex response from a loud noise in the classroom, I would have been expelled several times over. That is easily the stupidest thing I've ever heard someone get put in detention for. Not the idiot. Talk to the principal about this ASAP, and object, I'd be curious if Susan has actually explained what happened yet to those above. Or if they have any common sense, they'd say it's ridiculous. Also, maybe to avoid any retaliation, see if he could change rooms and get a different teacher. This might be US defaultism talking, but I'd say it's pretty early in the school year to do a switch for the good of your son, so this teacher does not pull any more weird power trips like this one. Comment 3. Not the idiot. I have an intense startle response as well and jump at noises. How is that something to punish someone for? The teacher likely knows she was being unreasonable in the moment and now is doubling down instead of admitting it. I would escalate this to her superiors right away, though, because it sounds like she won't back down or admit she's wrong. It wasn't the smartest move to laugh. I know it was just an instinct, but that doesn't make the punishment legit. Just guessing, but it sounds like the teacher was frustrated with the other kids and in the moment took it out unfairly on your son. Now, for the update. So, after the whole debacle with Preston's detention, I went to pick him up from school the next day, ready to schedule a meeting with the principal to discuss this outrageous situation. But before I could even step foot in the office, I was intercepted by Susan's co-teacher, Mr. Keller, who urgently asked to speak with me in private. Turns out Susan had a complete meltdown in the teacher's lounge the day I called her. She was apparently venting about our conversation when she just lost it, screaming about the pressures of teaching and the lack of respect from parents and students. She threw her coffee mug against the wall, shattering it. The whole scene was so out of character that the school put her on immediate leave and required her to seek counselling. But wait, it gets more chaotic. The school board got wind of the incident and launched an investigation into the school's environment. They interviewed students, parents and teachers and uncovered a simmering pot of discontent and stress that had been building long before Preston's detention. It was like one of those investigative pieces you see on the news. During the investigation, several students corroborated Preston's story, saying that Susan had been unusually edgy for weeks, snapping at students over minor things. And as it turns out, there was a whole group of parents who had similar concerns about the school's handling of disciplinary actions, but felt too intimidated to speak up. The school became the centre of local media attention for a few days. Everyone was talking about it. News vans camped outside, reporters interviewing anyone they could. It was surreal. The climax. The principal announced a new initiative for mental health resources and support for teachers, as well as a revised disciplinary policy for students. They even organised a town hall meeting for parents and faculty to open lines of communication and work on rebuilding trust. As for Preston, his detention was quietly swept under the rug in light of everything else. He's doing fine now. The school is working hard to move past this, and they've even brought in a temporary teacher who is an absolute gem. And Susan? I heard she's taking time to recover and reassess her career, which I think is for the best. I hope she finds the help she needs. After the storm we've been through, it feels like we're finally seeing some rays of hope for a better, more understanding school environment. Now for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. It's clear that Preston's situation was a catalyst for uncovering systemic issues within the school that needed to be addressed. While it's unfortunate that Preston was given an undeserved detention, the positive outcome is the school's acknowledgement of a broader problem. The implementation of mental health resources is a crucial step in the right direction. It's essential for educational institutions to support the mental well-being of both their staff and students. The fact that the school is taking measures to revise their disciplinary policy shows a willingness to improve and adapt, which is commendable. The town hall meeting is also an excellent initiative to foster open communication and repair trust. It seems like the school is on a path to creating a more supportive and understanding environment, which will ultimately benefit everyone involved. Comment 2. Not the idiot. The teacher's meltdown and the subsequent investigation revealed that the issue is not about a single detention, but about the overall health of the school's ecosystem. It's important to recognise that teachers are under immense pressure, and without proper support, their stress can inadvertently affect their students. Preston's detention might have been a symptom of Susan's stress, rather than a reflection of Preston's behaviour. The school's response in providing mental health resources indicates a commitment to addressing these pressures. Moreover, the support for teachers can help prevent future incidents. It's encouraging to see that the school is considering the well-being of its educators, which in turn can create a more positive learning environment for the students. In this situation, it seems like the school's systemic shortcomings were brought to light, and they are taking steps to remedy them, which is the responsible course of action. Comment 3. Not the idiot. The investigation by the school board and the subsequent actions taken by the school demonstrate a proactive approach to a serious issue. It is often easy for institutions to scapegoat individuals rather than address the underlying problems. In this case, the school could have simply disciplined Susan and moved on, but they chose to look deeper into the discontent and stress levels among all stakeholders. This shows a level of self-reflection and commitment to holistic improvement that is praiseworthy. The media attention could have been a source of embarrassment, but instead the principal used it as an opportunity to advocate for necessary changes and to be transparent about the challenges the school faces. This kind of leadership can have a significant impact on school culture and can serve as an example for other schools facing similar situations. It's also worth noting that the temporary teacher brought in is an indication of the school's dedication to continuity in education, even amidst turmoil. Now, for the next story. Can't actually believe I'm writing this post. My ex and I have a 3-year-old. She's amazing and loves her daddy. It was his birthday on Monday, so I let my daughter grab some bits for him. There's a football stall in our local shopping centre. They had squeezy balls for each team. My daughter knows that her dad loves football and also the colour blue, so she picked out a blue one for him. I knew it wasn't his team, but there's nothing on the actual ball. It just said the team on the wrapper. She bought it, we left, everything got wrapped up. We were with him when he opened them. His face fell and he dropped the ball like it burned him when he opened it. His mum gave him the evil eye, so he did the clearly fake thank you, and then our daughter was disinterested. He was off with me the whole day, and last night called me a witch for doing that to him. I asked what he meant. He said I knew he hates that team. I didn't. I used to ignore his football rants, and that he thinks it's shitty that I used our daughter as an excuse to upset him. I explained that she picked it out, and he claimed I should have corrected her because he hates the gift. I called him a child. His mum has since texted me apologising, but in an even though it's your fault way. She's usually on my side, so now I'm half thinking it's my fault in some sort of way. I did know he doesn't support that team and my daughter would have been corrected easily, so I probably should have done it anyway. So, am I the idiot? Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Sorry against others' opinions, you're the idiot, but not for allowing your daughter to pick that out for him, but because you knew better and seemingly did nothing to change your daughter's mind, and you did it out of spite and evil intent and you know it. Basically, you used her to dig at your ex. He was a jerk for his reaction, but you chose to not be the better person. The others' comments probably don't have a team that they are ardent fans of, so they don't have perspective. Yes, a child's love is way more important, but that doesn't diminish the fact that you chose to use this opportunity and your daughter to get a reaction out of her father. I hope you grow from this. It was immature, and you will probably realize it when you get older. To add, it was also totally disrespectful to your ex. I'm sure he's done things to you as well, but in this case you used your plural daughter, and that is the shameful part. Comment 2. I'm assuming by the language that you are potentially from the UK. Being a football fan raised by a football fan, everyone sucks here. These colours might seem entirely meaningless, but to die-hard fans, they mean something. These are old, long-standing rivalries, issues with religion and traumatic events. For example, you don't buy a Celtic fan a Rangers ball because there is a lot of actual hate there, not just rivalry. I know it is stupid, but it has become part of the sport now. You could have easily pointed your daughter to a different ball, and he could have acted like an adult about it. Comment 3. Not the idiot. Who says they hate a gift, let alone one picked out by a 3-year-old? Sure, some football fans can be pretty intense in their hatred for rival football teams, so it doesn't hugely surprise me that he saw this as an attempt to upset him. But he's not your partner. He's her dad. So letting your daughter choose the gifts was reasonably a higher priority to you than anticipating a grown man would be upset by the wrapper on a toy. Now, for the update. After the fiasco with the football team gift, I thought my ex would simmer down and we could move past it. But nope. This story took a turn for the soap opera level of drama. Last Tuesday I got a call from the school saying my daughter was very upset and kept asking for her daddy. I rushed over, and as I'm trying to comfort her, she sobs out that daddy's mad and doesn't want to see her anymore because of the blue ball. My heart sank. My ex had actually told our little girl that he was upset with her over the gift. I was seething. I confronted him that evening and things escalated quickly. Voices were raised and accusations were thrown. I told him he was being ridiculous and damaging our daughter with his pettiness. He yelled back that I should have known better and that I was using our daughter to get at him. It was a mess. The next day my phone was blowing up with messages from his family, some supportive, some not so much. His sister actually came over to talk. She told me that the blue football had sparked an old family feud nobody outside the family knew about. His uncle had been injured years ago in a brawl after a game involving that team. My ex had always associated the team with his uncle's trauma. But wait, it gets crazier. My ex's mother calls me up a few days later crying to apologise, not just for the gift incident, but she's spilling all these family secrets. Turns out my ex had been seeing a therapist for unresolved anger issues tied to this family baggage. She begged me not to cut ties and promised that my ex would apologise to our daughter. True to her word, he showed up at my door with a massive teddy bear for our daughter, looking like a kicked puppy. He apologised to her, said he'd never really be mad at her, and that he was going to work on being a better dad. He even asked if he could sit down and explain to me his reaction, without excuse, but just so I understood. We talked for hours. He told me about his family issues, his therapy, and how he realised he overreacted. He also agreed to start family counselling together for the sake of our daughter. As for the blue squeezy ball, our daughter decided that the teddy bear needed it more than Daddy did, so now it's tucked under the bear's arm, and she says it protects him from being sad. So there you have it. A blue football managed to unearth years of family drama, brought forth apologies and revelations, and might just be the catalyst for a healthier co-parenting dynamic. Go figure. Now for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. It's clear from the story that your intentions were pure in giving your daughter a gift. You couldn't have anticipated that this would trigger unresolved family issues or anger problems in your ex. The fact that the ex became upset is unfortunate, but you are not responsible for their reaction. It's important to consider that everyone has different triggers, and what may seem like an innocent gift to one person can have a different meaning to someone else due to their past experiences. However, your ex's behaviour following the incident shows a willingness to take responsibility for their actions, apologise, and seek help through therapy and family counselling, which is commendable. It indicates that they are taking steps to address the underlying issues and improve their relationship with their daughter and co-parenting with you. The decision of your daughter to give the gift to a teddy bear as a symbol of protection shows her maturity and understanding of the situation, which is a positive outcome from this ordeal. It's a testament to your parenting that she can navigate such a difficult situation with empathy and thoughtfulness. Comment 2. Not the idiot. Your ex's initial reaction to the gift may have been intense, but it seems like it was a catalyst for much-needed change. It's important to acknowledge that while the gift was the trigger, it is not the root cause of the family issues and anger problems. These are likely deep-seated issues that have been present for some time and would have surfaced eventually in one way or another. The fact that the ex is taking steps to apologize and seek therapy is a proactive approach to becoming a better parent and should be seen as a positive development. Furthermore, it's crucial to recognize the role of the ex's family in this scenario. By revealing the deeper issues at play, they provided context that helped everyone involved understand the situation better. This transparency can foster better communication and understanding moving forward, which is essential in any co-parenting dynamic. Additionally, the family counseling shows a commitment to not only individual healing but also to repairing and strengthening the family unit as a whole, which will ultimately benefit your daughter. Comment 3. Not the idiot. It's clear that the situation was handled with a level of maturity and openness that is often lacking in similar circumstances. The ex's recognition of their own issues and the subsequent apology to their daughter is an important step in healing family dynamics. It's not uncommon for gifts to inadvertently become emotional triggers, and the fact that your ex is seeking help shows their commitment to change and to being a better parent. The daughter's decision to give the gift to her teddy bear signifies her ability to transform a negative situation into one of empowerment and healing. This not only shows her resilience, but also her capacity for forgiveness and understanding, qualities that are important for her emotional development. The potential positive change in your co-parenting relationship cannot be understated. When one parent takes steps to improve themselves, it can set a precedent for mutual growth and cooperation, leading to a healthier environment for the child to grow up in. This story can serve as a reminder that even in difficult situations, there is always room for growth and positive change. Now, for the next story. I'm getting married this year and asked a close high school friend to be in my wedding party. We've been friends for a long time, see each other almost every other week and generally get along super well and have never fought until now. Since high school, she's always been a yo-yo dieter and will cycle through gaining weight and losing weight. This is something that I've never talked to her about, nor do I have a strong opinion about, as it's her body. The most I get involved is that when she brings up trying to exercise more, I'll invite her out on hikes with me, walks, etc. When I asked her to be my bridesmaid, she was ecstatic and everything was great until she mentioned to me that she bought her bridesmaid dress 3 sizes smaller than her current size. She said that my wedding was going to be a great motivator to lose weight. 3 sizes was quite aggressive in my opinion, as it would put her at a weight that she hasn't been since college. I didn't say anything though, as I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt. After a couple of months of seeing no progress though, I quietly bought her the same exact dress in a larger size. Come this past week, she called me in tears, saying that she didn't think that she could fit into her bridesmaid dress and felt horrible for ruining the dress code. The one she picked was now sold out, and she was panicking that she couldn't get another dress in time. It was at this time that I mentioned I actually bought her the same dress in a different size and was happy to gift it to her free of charge since she already paid for the first one. When she heard this, she blew up and accused me of being a bad friend for never believing in her. She said that my doubt was offensive and that I must have been planning for this to happen. I told her that I just cared about her and obviously wouldn't have mentioned the dress if she had lost the weight, but she herself brought up that she couldn't fit in her current dress, so I wasn't sure what she's mad about. She's now threatening to drop out of the wedding party, and some of our mutual friends think I was kind of an AH for not being supportive enough. But I also don't know what they expected me to do either. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. I was a maid of honour and was going to get a dress 1 size smaller. My BFF convinced me to get the current size in case something came up. I lost the weight, but on the day of the wedding I tried to unzip the dress, only to find out that the zipper was broken. I was panicking. It didn't even occur to my fool to try on the dress before the wedding. Thankfully, BC I lost weight, I was able to get into the dress without unzipping it. I was so lucky. Trying to lose 3 dress sizes before the wedding is insane. Comment 2. Not the idiot. My maid of honour did the same thing. Only it was 1 size smaller, and guess what? She couldn't fit into it. So off to Fabricland we went to find some fabric close enough to complement the dress, and my seamstress turned her dress into a lace-up corset back. I'm about to be a matron of honour for a friend, and I will be buying the size I wear now. If I lose weight, great, but it's too important of a day to risk letting my friend down over sometime trivial as a dress size. Comment 3. She's now threatening to drop out of the wedding party. Well, tell her you're sorry she feels that way, and that you're accepting she needs time to process this. That you hope once she does so, she will still want to be in the wedding party, but that you'll understand if she will feel otherwise. And then go on with your life. With her in or out of it, just don't fall for the drama trap with more drama. I think you've been a thoughtful and considerate friend. Not the idiot now. For the update. It's been a month since I last posted about the bridesmaid dress issue with my friend, and I wish I had better news to share. The wedding is 2 weeks away, and the situation with my friend, let's call her Sarah, has only deteriorated. After our blow-up, we took some time apart, hoping to cool off. I reached out to her to try and mend fences, but it seems my attempt backfired. During our break, Sarah doubled down on her weight loss efforts, but instead of losing weight, she ended up hospitalized due to complications from an extreme diet. It was a heart-wrenching call to receive. I visited her in the hospital, and we both cried. It was clear that the pressure of the wedding and fitting into the dress had pushed her too far. I told her health was more important than any dress, but she was inconsolable, feeling like she'd failed herself and me. As if things couldn't get worse, while Sarah was recovering, her mother was diagnosed with a serious illness. Sarah decided to move back home to help care for her. Between the recovery and her mother's health, she officially dropped out of the wedding party. She apologized for the previous argument, but the pain in her voice was palpable. I reassured her that our friendship was more important than any role in my wedding, but I can't shake the guilt that my wedding contributed to her stress. The mutual friends who thought I should have been more supportive have been quiet since the hospitalization, but the damage is done. I feel like I've lost a piece of my heart with Sarah dropping out, and the joy of my upcoming wedding is now tinged with sadness. I'm grappling with the guilt of whether I could have approached the situation with her differently and possibly prevented all this. Now, I'm left with a larger-sized dress hanging in my closet, a stark reminder of my lost bridesmaid and the unforeseen consequences of what I thought was a helpful gesture. The closer the wedding gets, the heavier my heart feels, knowing Sarah won't be standing beside me, not because of the dress, but because life threw us such an unexpected and painful curveball. Now for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. It's clear that you are feeling a profound sense of guilt and regret over what has transpired with Sarah. It's important, however, to recognize that Sarah's choices, including her extreme diet, were ultimately her own. While the situation surrounding the bridesmaid dress may have been the catalyst for her actions, it is not solely your responsibility that she chose to pursue an unhealthy method to fit into the dress. It is a positive sign that you visited her in the hospital and that you both have expressed your emotions about the situation. This indicates that you care deeply for your friend and that you are willing to confront difficult feelings to mend the relationship. Sarah's decision to drop out of the wedding party to care for her mother is a separate issue, and one that should be respected without any feelings of resentment. It's a difficult time for her, and she needs support. As for the upcoming wedding, it's natural to feel a sense of sadness and loss, but this could be an opportunity for introspection and growth. It may be helpful to reach out to Sarah and offer support during her mother's illness, as this could help heal the relationship and alleviate some of your guilt. Comment 2. You're the idiot. While Sarah did ultimately make her own choices regarding her health and diet, as a friend, it was your responsibility to ensure that the demands of being part of your wedding were reasonable. Your regret seems sincere, but it doesn't absolve the pressure you may have inadvertently placed on her. Sarah's hospitalization and her mother's illness have compounded the stress she was already feeling, and it's essential to recognize that your actions played a part in escalating that stress. Friends should prioritize each other's well-being over aesthetic details such as dress sizes. It's concerning that the dress size was so critical that it could lead to such an extreme reaction. Moving forward, it's imperative to learn from this by emphasizing the health and happiness of your friends over superficial concerns. It would be wise to re-evaluate how you can support Sarah beyond the wedding and help her through the challenging times with her mother's health. Comment 3. Everyone sucks here. This is a challenging situation, and while you're not entirely to blame for Sarah's choices, there is a shared responsibility here. The culture of expecting bridesmaids to conform to specific body standards needs to be addressed. Sarah's extreme diet is a symptom of societal pressures that value appearance over health, and as her friend, you could have advocated for a more inclusive and body-positive approach to your wedding party's attire. At the same time, Sarah's decision to engage in an unhealthy diet was dangerous and should not have been the solution to the issue. Now that the dust has settled somewhat, you both have the chance to work through these issues, improve your communication, and support each other. It's also a time for you to reflect on how you might approach similar situations differently in the future, prioritizing the well-being of your friends over maintaining a particular wedding aesthetic. It's crucial to address these underlying issues within our social constructs to prevent such harmful scenarios from occurring again. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day!